Hi, I'm Rich Miller. At Virtua, we believe citizens need to be informed about the important healthcare issues affecting their lives. That's why we're proud to support healthcare programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, Virtua, Partners for Health Foundation, partnering to make our communities healthier, better places to live. QualCare Inc., a managed care company administering health plans that care about your health care. Johnson & Johnson, Kessler Foundation, changing the lives of people with disabilities. And by ADP, a comprehensive provider of human resources technology and services. Promotional support provided by Meadowlands Regional Chamber, building essential connections that drive business growth. And by bestofnj.com, covering all New Jersey has to offer.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
That's a good question. High five.
We are pleased here on One-on-One to welcome back a good friend, Saranne Rothberg, who is the founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation. Good to see you.
Hi.
Good to see you. Now, this organization is such a great organization. People are going to see the website up several times. The 2003 Berry Awards for Making a Difference.
That's when we met.
Yeah. Tell folks what the foundation is so they don't understand why it's so important.
So Comedy Cures brings therapeutic entertainment around the world to the ill and underserved. So we go to hospitals, we go to camps for ill kids, we go to battered women's shelters, bombing victims, military returning injured from different war zones, and we bring joy, and we bring fun, and we bring play again.
But it started when and why?
It started from my chemo chair, and I decided to throw a chemo comedy party.
Go back a little bit. You were diagnosed?
Well, misdiagnosed in '93,
right,
and then diagnosed in 1999. And I just was given less than a 5-year life expectancy, and I was a single mom going through a divorce, and I said, if this is my life, then I'm gonna leave a legacy of joy and fun and hope and service for my daughter. That little girl is now 23.
She's 23.
She's 23 and she's working.
That's amazing.
She is.
And do you ever try to calculate, Saranne, how many performances you have done on behalf of this foundation?
We're under 2,000 for sure. We're over 1 million people worldwide, multiple continents. Yeah, and a lot of my guys you interview.
Absolutely. A lot of these people come through here
and
they make the connection back with you.
Yeah.
How did you know? I've asked you this before, but I don't want to assume people, you go back on our website, you see past interviews that you've done with us. How did you know that it was going to be a big part of your life's work to help other people while you were struggling yourself with recovering?
Well, it was really working for us. I mean, my daughter and I just found so much joy, and everybody was asking us, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I spent so much of my day just talking to people about psychoneuroimmunology and the mind-body connection, and if you keep your spirit strong, then your immune system has a higher chance of responding also. And I was just calling researchers. Researchers will pick up the phone. It's the most amazing thing. They're not like Hollywood types, you know? They don't have 10 layers of your people call my people. And they just started picking up the phone and confirming what I saw with my own life and my own spirit. And as long as I could keep my spirit strong, I felt like I could keep fighting. Because if you remember, nothing worked. I mean, I did 3 surgeries, I did 44 radiation treatments, I did 2.5 years of chemotherapy, I did 7 different drugs, as many as 3 drugs a day. And it was really when I tied it all together, and I had about 20 strategies, that everything started to change in my own body. But all along, we were doing these shows for people, and I couldn't wait to get back to doing the programs. And it was like cancer was my business. I had to take care of it. I had meetings about it. I had consultants. But my life was joy, and still is. My life was fun and laughter and bringing hope to people. And, you know, thank God my body responded. July 2002, they told me I had no more visible disease, and thank goodness we've been rocking and rolling ever since. And I love coming here, Steve, because one, it means I'm still here, and two, it's like that Neil Simon show, same time next year.
Yeah.
I get to look back on a body of work and a body of service, and I get to say, okay, can't rest on that. What are we going to do next?
Yeah. And by the way, I want to make it clear that you are not saying that people should not get the medical treatment.
No, I did
that they need.
everything.
And you did everything, and you also advocate that. But it's that you believe that laughter is powerful.
Oh, it's so powerful. A positive perspective. You know, you had Dr. Kelly Turner on, and we did the book Radical Remission together. And Radical Remission has 9 of the strategies that I did to beat stage 4 cancer. And my chapter really focuses around positive emotion, humor, and laughter. And I mean, the studies are so compelling. They have shown videos, dramatic videos, comedy videos, and no videos to different, you know, patients. And the immune system has been shown to boost when you watch a comedy. I mean, it's even applied in education. There was a study done, if you watch a comedy video before you take a test, first watch as a drama or don't watch anything, you'll score higher. And the reason, one of the reasons is because you're oxygenating your brain. You're waking up your body. You're like calling it to attention. And you know what my theory was? Even if it didn't work, even if the immune studies were not true, what a way to go out, you know, laughing.
And the other thing that's so great, and I have been wearing this.
I know, I check it out. I make sure
Live,
you have
Laugh,
it on.
Love. And you always send me some new ones to make sure, because you have such a great organization. People often ask me about it, and I tell them to go on the website to find out more. And by the way, go on the website to find out what's happening at the organization.
And we're redoing it. We're making a new one.
Yeah, tell folks what they can find when they can see the website.
So comedycures.org, it's so sweet because before Oprah covered us the first time, it was donated 24 hours before by some amazing angels that heard that I was going on. So let's see, she covered me the first time in 2004. So the website's like 12 years old. It's when the more pages you had, the more important you were. So now everything's streamlining. So we're basically just streamlining the whole thing. We're gonna have a lot more content so you don't have to go to YouTube to see. So right now, go to comedycures.org and that'll link you to our YouTube, which is Comedy Cures, and you'll see lots of videos about how you do this and funny clips from many of the comedians that you've had on.
Yeah. Why do you say, Saranne, that your diagnosis of cancer was a blessing? Why do you say that?
Oh, it was. I mean, look who I get to see. I get to run into you all the time.
Yeah, that's true, and I always enjoy having you here. We always do, but you actually, seriously,
yeah, no,
a blessing.
Look, I had a very good life before, thank God. It was beautiful. I've gotten to do amazing things in the world, and I have a really beautiful daughter, and I've just found myself in incredible circumstances. And that would be a good life, you know? I have a pretty house and I have a cool car, whatever. But you know what? Now, I get to hold people, like people in their souls. Yesterday, we did Laughing Lunch, which is one of our signature programs. This is gonna make me cry because I can't believe I get to do this in my life. And we work with over 1,000 different agencies. And I work with hundreds and hundreds of entertainers and comedians. And on this one day when Laughing Lunch happens, we collide homeless people with Park Avenue matrons, with CEOs of corporations, with news anchors. Like, everybody comes together in this space. And when they arrive, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, this isn't my comfortable circle. And the show literally starts while you're sitting there.
Yeah.
And the food gets served and it's delicious. And all of a sudden, this group that was just so unaffiliated with each other, all of a sudden you watch a community building right there, and then the laughter starts and we're one breath. Everyone is laughing together, and you can see it in the videos. You see the health start. You see health start to rise. You see anxiety start to dissipate. You see nausea start to decrease. And all the studies that are just theory that all my friends that are the researchers, Lee Burke and everybody else
Seen in
report,
practice.
you see it come alive in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Well, it's a great life, and more importantly, you're affecting the lives of others. Saranne Rothberg, who is the founder of Comedy Cures Foundation, I want to thank you for being with us and sharing and spreading the word. Keep it up.
Yay.
Check out that website. It's great stuff. It'll make a difference. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Leslie Engle Young, Director of Impact, an organization called Pencils of Promise. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Someone asks you, what exactly is Pencils of Promise? You say?
We are a for-purpose organization dedicated to providing quality access to education to children across the globe.
What countries?
We work in Ghana, Guatemala, and Laos.
So it's so interesting, your background. I don't know how old you are, but you must have been pretty young. As a preschool teacher,
Yes.
you go to Laos, and what happens?
And I stay. And I stay. I was a preschool teacher in Portland, Oregon, and I had previously traveled in Southeast Asia and loved it and had what you could call a quarter-life crisis, to give you a clue as to how old I was then.
Yes.
And bought a one-way plane ticket to Laos, and I stayed for 4 years.
What is it? What wasn't? What is it about Pencils of Progress that caused you to say, hey, Pencils of Promise, excuse me, I want to be a part of this organization?
I would say it was, and it is the energy. It's the energy of folks that feel really dedicated to making change, that people that feel very hopeful that change is possible, that there is a world in which all children have access to education, and that we can achieve that.
How many children are we talking about?
We're working with a little over 30,000.
30,000 children.
Correct. But the need is bigger. There's a lot.
Describe for us, Leslie, what happens. You go to a country, Guatemala. You find these children that do not have the education that they need.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even set up a situation where they are being educated? Where do the teachers come from? How are they trained?
Yeah.
How does it work?
So we work within the government, in partnership with the government, with the Ministry of Education. So we find communities in partnership with them where they kind of say, we know of these communities that have kind of different situations where they're either going to school under a tree. So instead of a classroom, they have a mango tree. Or instead of a trained teacher, they have a local grandma from the community. And they say, we need your help. Could you come in and partner with us? So we go in then and we kind of do our own due diligence. We understand what is the need, what's the educational background of these students, and then we build something with the community. Really, the beauty of what we do is it's with the community. We build the school together, we do the work together, everything is in partnership.
But you also train teachers.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so, I was a teacher, and my parents were teachers, so I and my organization firmly believe that the teacher is the key. The teacher is the true key to change. The teacher has the power to really unlock the potential of their students. So we work with government-trained teachers to provide them ongoing support. These are teachers that literally are told, tomorrow you're going out to this community 6 hours away, you don't speak the language, we'll see you in a few years. Best. There's no professional development, there's no materials, there's no ongoing support. So that's where we come in. We say, your job is hard. We want to help you make it, we want to help you. We want to make it easier. We want to get the best out of your students.
What is the WASH initiative?
WASH is water, sanitation, and hygiene. We believe that a school is a place that is safe and clean for children. So that means a gender-safe bathroom that locks, it's comfortable and safe for girls. That means clean drinking water, a place to wash your hands. Really what we here think of as just really normal. Of course your school has that. Developing world, that's not a given. So we really ensure that a community and a school has those kind of necessities available to them at the school level.
Talk about sustainability. How does it sustain? You're there, you're doing what you're doing. Do you leave at a certain point?
Yeah, so all of our schools are owned and operated by the government, by the government, and the communities in partnership. So the Ministry of Education and that community, they're the true owners of the school. It was built in partnership with Pencils of Promise, but they're the ones that run it, they're the ones that own it, they're the ones that oversee it, and we just support. So really, from the very beginning, it's sustainable because of that. You know, we could walk away tomorrow. We don't, but we could, and that school is still there. They still have the teachers that are paid by the government. They still have the community members that helped build the school that feel really proud of it and are going to be upset if it, is torn down or not being used properly. So the sustainability really comes in the fact that it's embedded in the community and in partnership.
Now, any not-for-profit, public television, we're a not-for-profit. We spend a lot of our time raising money. You spend some time raising money.
We do.
Talk about where the dollars come from.
From individuals, from a lot of individuals. So in the very beginning, back in 2008, 2009, the way that we raised money was a group of young people that were really passionate and excited about doing something,
right.
Caring, and that's really the momentum that kind of our fundraising grew off of through the years, was finding people that wanted to have something they connected to. And now we have a lot of folks that are families that come and want to partner with us because they want to show their kids what the rest of the world looks like, what it looks like in the developing world.
What about sorry for interrupting, what about some of the celebrities involved?
Yeah, so we do work with a few celebrities, as you might know. Most recently, we've been working with Justin Bieber in the Purpose Tour. So
I'm sorry, who was that?
His name is Justin Bieber. Have you heard of him?
And what has he done?
Just a couple of things.
How did he get involved?
His manager is Scott Braun, who is the brother of our founder, Adam Braun.
That's interesting, and there's some others as well.
Yeah, we have loads of people. So we're working with Olivia Culpo also most recently. As a part of our global ambassadors. And we just, it's a small group because we're really dedicated to having people that care about our cause.
Right.
We have celebrities that come to us and want to partner with us. They care about our work. They want to go to the field. We had Sophia Bush early on who, when I was living in Laos, came and visited us there to get to see the work on the ground.
I'm curious about something. As such a young woman who has achieved so much, is making such a big difference with so many young people, what does it feel like for you to know that you've done this, A, and B, what do you want to be and what do you want to do the next 10 years?
It's a big question.
I know.
What it feels like is I feel very fortunate. I feel very fortunate that I found what I think I'm meant to do, that I found what I love and what I'm good at, what is very challenging for me, but what I'm good at and what I feel really connected to. So I just regularly feel fortunate that it's the work that I get to do.
Next 10 years.
Next
is
10
this
years.
What you want to do?
This is what I want to do. I want to keep doing it. Every day it's still challenging. Every day there's more. There are 250 million children that can't read or write. There's a big problem out there.
Last question. Biggest impact that education has on a child who needs education. Biggest impact on his or her life.
Opportunity. Choice. You get to choose what you want to do. Do you want to work in the farm? You can. Do you want to go to the city? You can. Do you want to go to university? You can. It's up to you. You get the choice.
You're a very talented, but more importantly, very dedicated and committed young woman. And it's one of the reasons why we should be hopeful, because people like you are making a difference. Well done.
Thank you.
Leslie Engle Young, Director of Impact for Pencils of Promise.
Thank you.
Thank you
for being here.
Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you very much.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
Welcome back to One-on-One. It is our pleasure to welcome Tawanda Jones, who is the co-founder of a terrific organization here in Camden.
Thank you.
It is called Camden Sophisticated Sisters. What a great name. And you came up with that.
Yes, sir, I did.
How so?
Well, Camden Sophisticated Sisters the whole word sophisticated stuck with me because of my grandmother. She was very articulate. She always believed that young ladies should sit up and have posture, and being sophisticated was her thing. So it kind of stuck in my head. So it just seemed like the perfect name to name the organization at the time.
What does it do?
Oh my God, what don't they do? It's a performing arts. They don't just dance. Oh my God, they dance their pain away. They sing, they act. they have to do volunteer hours. They have to do 200 hours of volunteer hours. So it's a community-based organization, and we welcome the youth. We welcome adults. It's just one big community inside of the neighborhood center.
4,000 children have successfully come through the program. 100% graduation rate. 90% of team members attend higher education institutions. Amazing. How does that happen?
It takes, I would be crazy to say, you know, I did this by myself. No successful organization is ran by one person, but it takes a collective effort. It takes community, parents, teachers, everyone involved just to stay on track with these young people. See, we just don't do drill team inside of one place. You know, we have to make sure that we're interacting with them at their homes, inside the schools. I love doing pop-up visits at the schools. You know, just pop-up visits.
Describe that. Pop-up
visits, if you have a kid that, you know, they're part of the organization and they're having like a rough week, you know, I'll get that phone call from the teacher. I know they're a part of your organization. Behavior-wise, we're having a little difficult time. We're on our way.
You pop up.
We pop up. I pop up. The parents pop up. We have a little volunteer group that loves to do the little pop-up thing. So, and the kids shape up. They just want to know that they love structure. They love discipline. Kids want to know that you're going to be there.
I got to tell you, when I first heard about you, it was first in 2013. The great folks at CNN recognized your organization as one of the top 10 heroes of that year. Also in 2014, I met you, the Russell Berry Foundation, the Make a Difference Award. You were one of the winners, one of the $5,000 winners. You've been recognized in so many places by so many organizations. You're born and raised in the city. You love this city. What is it that these young women are facing every day?
Oh my God, poverty, drugs, the violence, you know, but we're here to tell them that you can overcome any obstacle. You know, you don't let that stop you. As a matter of fact, you go even harder. And we just want to let them know that we have, you have a great support system here. Even if your household is in disarray, you know, you have an extra extended family in Camden Sophisticated Sisters.
To what degree do you consider yourself, because you are a product of this city, a role model?
Well, I'm no saint. I'm no perfect person.
I didn't ask if you were a saint. I said, but you are a role model, and you know they look up to you.
Yes, I try to be.
And you are from this city.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Is that pressure?
It's a lot of pressure. You know, you're constantly in the eye. You know, people want to, you know, am I going to mess up? Am I doing this correctly? All I can do is just stay prayed up and just...
Stay prayed up.
Stay prayed up. I have to put on that armor of God. You know, I'm not afraid to mention his name, you know, and that's what really keeps me going, as well as my husband and my family and, you know, my support system, you know, people that I lean on. Because it gets difficult sometimes, but because I love it and it's a passion and it's not work, you know, because I'm very passionate about it, it makes it that much easier.
What do you get out of this?
Oh my God, the smiles, the joy, the kids coming back to me and saying, you know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it this far. And I'm like, don't give me that much credit, but just know that we are still here for you. That revolving door of the kids that already went through the program and make me feel old by bringing their children back to my program, you know. But that's the part that makes me feel like, oh, we must be doing something right.
So for people watching one-on-one as part of this In Your Neighborhood initiative, together with our great partners at NJTV, who are trying to talk about neighborhoods, communities all across this state, who may not really understand Camden. They think they know because they see things on the national news,
right?
Crime, violence. A part of the city, but not the totality of the city.
Not at all.
What's the rest of the city?
Put it this way, there's a Camden everywhere. In the suburbs, there's a Camden everywhere. You know, turmoil, a lot of social woes, you know, but you have to get the root of the problem, you know. I feel like my thing of contributing to my city is definitely with the youth. You know, let's get these babies while they're young, so when they grow up to be productive citizens, it'll be that much easier to say, you know, how can you get involved? How can you make this change?
Tawanda Jones, who is the co-founder of Camden Sophisticated Sisters. You're doing great things every day with a great team, and we thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, Virtua, Partners for Health Foundation, Qualcare Inc., Johnson & Johnson, Kessler Foundation, and by ADP. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
At Virtua, we don't cut the quad tendon for knee replacement, so you don't have to cut anything you love to do. It's what we don't cut that counts. The Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Visit GotMyLifeBack.org today.